Now it's a challenge, and with the application of technologies, we can do things better. Of course, I would like to thank Major Sushil Goyalji for giving this opportunity to me, as well as deciding a theme that is very much relevant to everybody in the world, because pandemic had changed the world completely, and people said earlier we used to have BC and AD, now we are going to have pre-COVID and post-COVID. So how you do things post-COVID, they will be completely different from how you have done pre-COVID, and things have changed forever. And this is the time that everybody gets equipped with these technologies, because a teacher is a teacher, whether he is an economics professor or a computer science professor, one needs to use technology, and these technologies are to be well versed by everybody. So I thank once again, and I also congratulate ISTE for this convention, and I also thank Professor B.V. Ramana Reddy ji and Professor Ashish Agarwal to be joining today, because it's a big fortune that I am with the top experts in the areas of technology. Thank you very much.
Now, today we feel proud and privileged by the gracious presence of Professor Reddy among us. So I would like to request Professor Reddy to bless the gathering with his words. Over to Professor Reddy.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be with this ISTE Annual Faculty Convention Delhi chapter. And then I congratulate the PCCI College under the stewardship of Major Sushil Goyal, then Deepshika, and I understand Professor P.V. Suresh, he was speaking before me, greetings to him, and Atish Agarwal, who is another speaker of the day. And let me at the outset thank you for inviting me for this wonderful two-day faculty convention. Reaching out to faculty is always a very, very interesting and a very, very warming experience for me. So my greetings to all the teaching fraternity, faculty who are at the core of them, the teachers, and my dear students. So let me take this opportunity. In fact, at NIT Kurukshetra, we are running a parallel two-day session on Bhagavad Gita and the role of Bhagavad Gita in maintaining peace and security of the world. So I was confused whether I'm called for that or this. The invitation came to me yesterday. However, this is a subject very close to my heart, because Corona times have really changed the face of the mankind and the kind of trauma and trouble that we were all in. It really created panic, havoc. A lot of people went into depression, suicidal tendencies. We have lost many of us beloveds, and the whole world was reeling under this problem. Now, the best solution that came forward to us is, how do we handle this pandemic when nature's fury has locked every one of us at homes? So by doing so, the nature has again gave us a big challenge of how we are going to handle the situation. You have thrown plastic over me. Now I'm throwing plastic at you. So you are locked in a plastic in your homes, worried what will happen the next moment, because all said and done, if there is any problem physically, we would have solved it. Hospitals would have solved it. But something attacking your nasal problem, your chest, and then suddenly things go wrong for you, and then the time that is given to you is few minutes. So this has led to a lot of things. And when I was serving at GJS IPU, Delhi, for the last 22 years, we have lost almost 10 of our faculty, teaching and non-teaching people in the campus. And then many deaths that have happened in Delhi. Delhi is a place where I can call it as a pressure cooker, where you have all the problems. Pollution is there. Your life is very fast. You don't have socializing. You rush with things. A lot of stress. A lot of again repeating. A lot of pollution. So all these things have put a lot of pressure on us, Pankaj Gupta ji. And then things did not work for us. So we had to find alternate solutions to this problem. So what we did? I also took care of NSS, NCC activities at the university. Since the last 8 years, I was doing that before joining as director in IIT Kurukshetra in the month of February. Now, in that, we started doing a lot of online courses. We involved Art of Living, Sadhguru, and then we involved Brahma Kumaris, all the spiritual organizations. We held with them consultations, and through the platforms of online, thanks to all the online platforms, which were almost 1% of their utility, so far so good, have taken over completely, and almost 90 to 95% of all our education models, the teaching, learning, pedagogy, went on with these models. I salute all those technocrats who have developed these technologies, and they have rolled out effortlessly these technologies, and we call them as disruptive technologies. I, for one, having done 35 years of teaching, 34 years completed, I hate the online processes that are there in this country. However, but that was the only way we could have held ourselves, held our nerves, and kept on moving forward. And there was a semblance of order that we could bring by bringing online education models. We do have several challenges. India is a very large country, and then giving this kind of education to the masses, the schools, the primary, the secondary, the higher education, is really a tough thing. And then we really had a lot of issues while doing so. Slowly but steadily, we could create that ecosystem, and mobiles were the only way out to get into your classroom. So mobile classrooms have started. We could reach far and wide. That's how the disruptive technologies have allowed us to move virtually, albeit to any part of the world. So while doing these courses, we never knew that we have already reached 26 countries, and then people from America, Germany, Australia, you name them, and they were all there on those courses, because everyone has the same blood, everyone have the same emotions, everybody was facing the same problem. So I always recognize the importance of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We're all one family. And technology has really made it a beautiful way of connecting to people, albeit virtually. Then we coined the world is a global village. So it is no big difference. Like, for example, 2 minutes before, I got a call from your office and said that you have agreed to be the chief guest of the day. I forgot about it. And then within 2 months, I could get back to you. And then in 7 minutes, I was live. I apologize for being late by 10 minutes, but that's the way forward. So we do have the technologies, we do have these disruptive technologies handy. I'm handling, earlier I used to handle 6-7 activities. Now I can handle 15-17 activities in a day because of the presence of disruptive technologies. Now we saved a lot of money during this process, the meeting schedules, and then going all around to Delhi to your college, then greetings, a lot of money spent on the welcome address and all that, everything gone. So we are now saving a lot of money also. We are able to transform the way we conduct ourselves. Even meetings are conducted virtually so that people who cannot come are also there, and their valued suggestions are also taken. Now, coming to the theme of the day, we are talking about what is that impact of disruptive technology on education sector. I think I have started with it. So we are all under the influence of such technologies. Even today, I'm able to reach out to all of you, albeit through virtual models, though I don't appreciate these models to the fullest extent. Being in teaching, being in education, we believe and strongly believe that online platforms cannot replace our classroom setup. Now, having said that, a classroom setup needs to be created. You need to have spaces. Now, suddenly, I can't talk to 1 lakh people if I have to, but I can talk to maybe 10, 20, 50, 100, 120, depending on the hall and the size. Now, I'm at the cusp of technology where I can reach out to a lakh of people. And I've been doing it since the last 2 years. We have been reaching out, as I said, to different countries also. And the platforms, so the social media platforms, as Facebook or other media, they have really helped in a very big way. Now, if you look at this, this is what is revolution. This is what is disruptive technologies. Now, many corporate world have decided to go work from home models because that saved a lot of money, that saved a lot of office space. The cost has come down and the productivity has started increasing. Now, interestingly, many of us are really baffled with the very idea that somebody has started working for 10 different jobs at the same time because of the online platforms. I can also do, I can have another system, a third system, start managing all the 3 shows or 5 shows at the same time, giving, I mean, there are pitfalls in this process, but then the very idea of today's education sector and the way we are talking about the positive aspects of technology. I can talk about the disruptive technologies which have really made our lives much more clumsier, much more difficult to handle, because we lost the connect with the students. Like, for example, I strongly believe a classroom environment is one where we talk about not about the subject alone. We have our body language, the interactions, the kind of connect that you have, the emotional connect that you have with the students. That's all lost. So 10 to 15% is the content delivery. I think disruptive technologies have done it wonderfully well of transferring the content, cut, copy, paste, passing it on to millions of people. All that has really helped us, and we have Google Meet and then Zoom platforms. We have several other platforms that have come our way where we can operate, albeit freely, to take our classes. Maybe when the conventions become larger, when the student base becomes larger, we have to go for a license fee, and then even such facilities are made available at every corner. And NIT is pioneering in bringing in all the online technologies to the fore of the children. So if I have to start with, where do I start? Now, when you talk about disruptive technologies, my students would appreciate, my teachers would appreciate, and all the guests having there appreciate that being in ICT since the last 20 years, who else can be a person who is upbeat about these technologies, who knows the inside out of technologies, and have been teaching these technologies on networking, wireless, IoT, and all other technologies are under my belt. I've been producing PhDs in this area and then delivering lectures in this area. But since this is a general convention and there are many speakers with us, I was given a time of 1 hour. And is it 1 hour or more than that? Inaugural session, guest of honor, 10 to 11. Okay, so almost up to 11. Now it's 10:37. I'll take up another 40 minutes to deliver my talk on the disruptive technologies and the impact on education sector. I'm continuing with that only. Now, if you look at what is interesting, if you want to learn why these technologies are realized today and how these technologies are really making a big dent into the market, and then 7 out of 10 technologies or 7 out of 10 jobs are for these technologies. Now, if somebody, if I give you some names, like at IP University, they have started 4 new BTech programs. You can note down if you want to note down. It is on IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things, is one BTech program we have conceived and started from the last academic session. And I'm going to replicate the same at NIT Kurukshetra. So this year, we're going to bring in these 4 BTech programs. The BTech programs are one in IIoT, in industrial IoT. Now here the students who come from +2 can straight away join these programs, and it's a hotcake program where a lot of disruptive technologies have emerged. I'll give the list, but just for your understanding, I'm giving you the names first. So it has been approved by AICT, new nomenclature, and then this will be the disruptive BTech program, I would call it. And many of you would love to join this program, and those who could not be on board now should feel bad about it, because these technologies are going to rule the world come another 50, 100 years. So the second program that we have conceived at the BTech level is AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning. The third technology that I brought in is AI and data science as a BTech program. The fourth we call it as robotics and automation. So these are the 4 technologies. There is a common link with these 4 technologies. I'll give you one example so that every one of you who is a tech savvy person or a novice will also understand what is that we're going to do now. Now, we evolved with computers, we evolved with networking over last maybe 30 years, 35 years, 40 years down the lane. I've been teaching since the last 30 years. I started teaching computer networks way back in 91. And then it came that year itself. And nobody knew that the computer networks that I was teaching, I'm a graduate, postgraduate, and a doctoral program I've done in EC, Electronics and Communication Engineering. Now, is it my foray if I have to talk about computer networks? It's a combination of computing and communications. So when you look at this combination, it's like a happy marriage between the computing world and the communication world. Now, what did we do is to just transform a standalone machine into a networked machine. Now, the intent is we went into what is called as these peer-to-peer models. Earlier, we had client-server models. So large computers were built, and they were the dumb terminals were connected through a LAN, and these terminals were talking to each other. In a way, that was a huge investment on the servers, mainframes, and we call as supercomputers, Param and other names. And then when the devices started becoming smaller, when the PCs started becoming stronger, and then we went on to what is called as a peer-to-peer model. Today's world, where we are using our laptops or mobiles or PCs or servers or to the extent any other device, they're all now having a lot of power. In a sense, the CPU power is very huge, the memory power is very huge, and then the actions that we take, they're taken in the terms of microseconds, nanoseconds, and picoseconds. Today, we have technologies which work at nanotechnologies. That makes it, you have processors working at a speed of gigahertz, whereas we are in the cusp of coming out with next level of computing, where we go into terahertz of clock speeds. Imagine a clock speed of 10 or 1 terahertz, 10 raised to the power of 12. That makes it, I can send 10 raised to the power of 12 bits in 1 second. It's a huge data transfer that I can think about when I can create a computer which works at this speed. Now, what is the 2 ingredients I said? It's a CPU speed and memory. That's it. These are the 2 things. And what it can do, repetitive calculations can be done by the computer. Now we are evolving with the idea of AI, artificial intelligence, where we give some kind of what you call, I should not call a thought process, but a routine, repetitive process of taking decisions based on certain happenings that happened in the process of, this is nothing but artificial intelligence. The name is a misnomer. There is nothing called intelligence in a computer, but it's a fanciful word. Everybody loves it. So it's called as artificial intelligence. The idea behind this particular artificial intelligence is that whatever repetitive actions we have been doing, we now add some more, processes where decisions are taken by the computing system based on the happenings or based on the outcomes of certain algorithms which run on this, call it as machine learning or deep learning or whatever learning processes you're talking about. They all are resulting into some kind of a cause and action relationship. There is something happening, like for example, when my mother says, go to the market and get fruits or vegetables. Now, what is this intelligence that I have? I know where is the market. I will go there. But there I come to know that today is a holiday for it. Now, here, artificial intelligence doesn't work. There is a decision that you have to take beyond a point. And that point is once you see there's no market and you come to know that today the market is closed. Then you have to change the algorithm. That is artificial intelligence here. Then can you take a decision on your own? Yes, human being can take a decision on his own. He might get to this information there. There is a market which is called as a Friday market, which opens after 20 kilometers or 10 kilometers away from it. Now you take a decision whether to go there or not to go there. And then you inform your mother. So these are all the processes which a human mind can do very efficiently. The same thing we are trying to mimic into a machine, so that we call it as artificial intelligence or machine learning, or you call it as deep learning, or you call it as social. We have a lot of data today. Data mining, data analytics has become a very, very big field. Today, data is money. And if I know these methods, if I can do this kind of deep learning or make machine learning more and more effective by using statistical means or algorithm methods, I'll be able to arrive at certain decisions. Now, these decisions can affect a big way in the society. For example, the feedback that you give about, let's say, the search engines. Why is one popular than the other? Why very large number of section of people take interest in using such platforms? Then you do the analysis. You'll find it's user-friendly, or it has certain features which others have not provided, or for that matter, there are best practices that are done. Like, for example, if I have to Google and then find out in the search engine some information, how much time it takes to give you the information, how much, it has to even think about your mind. That is where artificial intelligence has been added into it. Based on the words or the ones you type, all the information is searched very deeply, and it brings in all the platforms or all the links relevant to what you want to do. Like, for example, if I have to take a lecture on disruptive technologies, hardly I'll take 5 minutes to get all the information. It takes no time for me to get into the deeper sense. Normally, go and search in library, you may take hours together to search this data. Now I don't need. I know what I have to talk. I just need additional data to be spoken. That makes the lecture very interesting. So in this way, the disruptive technologies are helping you in a big way to arrive at a decision-making process. Data is before you. Whatever data you're thinking is coming onto the screen, because this is how artificial intelligence is working in these systems. So slowly but steadily, they are becoming the norm of the day. Even today, we are developing apps. If I'll give you one example of an app. Now, many of us, we waste our time. Why? We wait for somebody, or we wait in the queue, or we do not know that today there is a lot of rush. Number 4, I do not know what the position of the traffic. And if I get all these inputs, I could as well plan my things in a better way so that I can save my time, save my energy. You're all coming from engineering disciplines. And the definition of engineering, if you look at it, it is nothing but you have to optimally use your resources. 2 of them. One is your time. The other one is your energy. You've been given 100 years of age. You've been given certain amount of energy, and you can replenish it. You can do what is called sleep. Then you refresh your batteries, and then you again go into the work model, so on and so forth. Now, when you do so, these 2 things are very important. So any application that comes before me, which will save my energy or my time, is nothing but engineering. So engineering is the art of efficiently utilizing the energy that is available with you and do the things within no time. And this is ideally, I want 0 energy and 0 time to be taken. But that's not the thing. Practically, there is a finite amount of. And what is friction in this? Wastage of time. How am I wasting time? Getting ready with the notes, taking these notes, talking to people, arranging for the meetings. All these things take a lot of time, and it's a wastage of time for creating such an atmosphere. Now, today, AI and what you call as the mobile applications have gone deep into your lives, that you can manage many things if you know how to do it. Still, I will tell you, the machines, we are creating machines and not human beings. So this is my problem in today's technology कि मैं इंसान नहीं बना रहा लेकिन मशीन बना रहा हूँ. हम लोग digital thinking पे चले गए हैं. Sudden decisions are taken and we don't even apply our mind or heart. So that is a different science altogether I'm talking about. But today I'm not dwelling upon those aspects of emotional intelligence or spiritual intelligence or human engineering per se, or for that matter talking about what is that I'm going to do tomorrow. But as on today, I know for sure I am just mimicking the human being. If you want to understand computer networks, if you want to understand IoT, if you want to understand autonomous cars, if you want to understand big data, if you want to understand blockchain technologies, there are so many. Artificial intelligence led to wearable devices. Let me put it squarely that whatever we have done in the 30, 40, 50 years is just virtualized everything. We are fooling our five senses. The senses are here, 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 here. We have targeted three of them. We are to target two of them. What are the three we have targeted? The sense of sight, the sense of hearing, and the sense of seeing. Sight is there. So hearing and whatever you speak. So we call it as data. In general, voice, video data, and then multimedia applications, and then location-aware services. This is the way we have moved from one end to other end. Now today, your life has become very easy. You can choose your path. You can be located where you are. You want a shop, just Google it and you're getting the shop where nearest one, and then you can place an order or online and the thing will be delivered to you within no time. So this is the kind of technologies, this is the kind of speed with which we want to live. But at the same time, word of caution, you will have to understand that everything is not just speed. Everything is not about digital thinking. You'll have to think much better than what a digital world or a machine can think. So what is that I'm trying to do is mimic a human body. Mimic a human body. What is that I'm doing? I've got a brain, I've got a CPU, I've got memory, I've got five senses, IoT based, and I've got organs, I've got communication system. A lot of things can happen very fast in the orders of picoseconds. So what is that I'm doing? I create a computer network, I create an IoT network, I create whatever it is, just mimicking the human body. So if a layman wants to understand, it is nothing but the human body replicated into a machine, and they're connecting the machine into different devices. IoT kya kar raha hai? It's exactly the human body. I've got five senses, make a glass uthana hai. I'll do this kind of an action, lift the glass, bring it close to me, and then start taking a sip. And I know I cannot push my water just like that, try to wait, because the body takes its own time. So all these actions that we are doing is nothing but a part of your IoT models, Internet of Things. When you automate anything, industrial automation or whatever you do, you are automating all your actions. Because I keep telling my children, whenever we're studying, we are making you lazy by the day, and the machines are becoming smarter by the day. So you don't know even to do 2 + 2 today, you'll go for a calculator. I'm very sad on that. So the learning of the mind cannot be replaced with the learning of a machine. But people are trying madly. They want to do it. So what are the two senses that are not conquered is the sense of taste and the sense of touch. We're going to do that also in the future. You're going to have models where you can feel the other person virtually. You can touch the other person virtually. You can feel the body of other person virtually. The taste also will be coming in but you'll have to evolve with that technology. How do you go for it? You have seen 3D films wherein you find that the animal or the one is coming very close to you. And in the hall, we inject that kind of aromas so that you feel that it is opening its mouth and you feel as if it is going to eat you. So all this is nothing but fooling your senses, because you can think at a level of few milliseconds. You can act at the level of few seconds, but a machine can work even 1,000 times, 10,000 times, or 100,000 times faster than what you can do. That is why your perception is fooled. You believe everything is coming on a platter to you, where actually it is not done. It is apportioned into n number of billion of people. And then we send this data and it is recollected at the other side, and we are able to give you that technology as if every technology is for you only. Everybody is a king and the other side is a queen. So this is possible today because thanks to the technologies that have gone far and far beyond. Like I said, the first revolution that came is the fusion of communications and computing, which led to a lot of things. And today we talk of wireless networks, IoTs, and then the sky is the limit for it. And the other side, we have a combination of electronics and the hardware and the software. We now talk about embedded softwares. We talk about why did we talk about embedded systems? Because that is where you're going to make the machines think, machines react to certain situations. And then we started working on models. Why do I give a complete brain to every device? apportion it. जैसे routine works है, जैसे आपका barcode reader है, doesn't need much. It needs a little CPU, a little memory, and a processor, and electronics which is involved in it. That doesn't require a full capacity of your CPU. So we have created like your smart cards, which you are using. Or tomorrow we're going to have embedded cards also. Your body will be embedded with that card or injected with some serum, so that you become live devices and live things. You start talking to, and then everybody feels like you're a madman, but you're not mad. You're talking to somebody on the other side of the world. So this is going to happen. Another disruptive technology on your way. You can look at all these actions at that side. I think I did not talk about education sector. We already have. Today we are evolving into hybrid and blended mode of technologies, wherein you give the feel of the classroom for, we are doing it. I'm already sending this, we are doing, as I said, Bhagavad Gita, a 2-day session we are doing for world peace, because the current scenario in the world is so bad that people have lost connect with the human beings. They have forgotten that creating problems to people is the last thing one should do. No country should attack another country, or no person should even go and hurt the other person. We have to be civilized. Now, under this context, we have been giving lectures, and we have been teaching people how Bhagavad Gita can help you in evolving the self and realizing the importance of socializing and the importance of tolerance, and how do you handle people at one end to other end. Technologies cannot do this because technologies have no emotions, and machines will not have emotions. Your drones, your airplanes who are used to kill people, or what you call missiles, they don't have emotions. Human beings should understand these things first before even thinking of embarking on killing somebody else. It's all ego problems that we have. That's the reason why in Delhi and other metros, we have around 70% of divorce rate, because we do not know how to handle ourselves, and we are heavily relying on technologies. At the flip side of it, I am trying to suggest to you that technology is not everything. It is human being is everything. The human being and the holistic personality development is of paramount importance, and you will then know how to use technology in a better way. Or else today, technology is very, very badly used by my children, and gaming, pornography. What should I say? I can't even think about a society where my child is really troubled today. The child doesn't know he has been given an atom bomb in his hand, a plug, and then a button also. He can create havoc for you. So the only way forward is to make our children realize the importance of safe use of technology, rather than working on to models and just giving out and doling out things like this. Okay, now you are going to have the disruptive technologies in the forms of, they're calling it as far off in future technologies. Already here, we are talking about it. And then we'll talk about gaming and simulation, a very big industry. But I really don't like this world because it's just wasting the time and energy of my child. I think there are better ways of dealing with these games, and they should create creativity and innovation in it, rather than bland, just focusing on something and just wasting and wailing of time. I think that's not the way we have to look forward to. But then every technology, as I said, has its pitfalls as well as the positive aspects of it. Now, drone technology is going to revolutionize the way the whole world is going to work. Maybe flying machines will come and you will start flying like a flying motorcycle. It can be a part of a drone. Or you want medicines, they'll be dropped at 24th floor with perfect GPS management. And even drones will not hit each other. They have a perfect algorithms working wherein they understand. We call it as ant colony optimization and bee colony optimization. There are several optimization techniques. We rely on nature. Nature-inspired algorithms have been ruling AI and ML. So we need to learn a lot of them from that. Now, as far as energy is concerned, we are starved of energy. Even every mobile, when you move out, you need a battery, you need some mechanism. So a lot of technologies are coming, how to refuel your batteries. I would also suggest refueling of batteries for human beings also is necessary. I think yoga is a wonderful way of recharging yourselves. replenishing your energies, but nobody is teaching you that. So I would request your college to start yoga classes for all children in the campus, and then all faculty, including your director and principal, should join those programs. Here at NIT Kurukshetra, we are doing it in a big way. Every child is loving it, and we are reaching out to 1 lakh people. You join us. I'll also give you sessions in the morning and evening how to do yoga also. Now, a better management, wherever you talk about, better management is needed. So we are working in the area of solar panels and trying to develop zero, some game, green buildings, so that I don't need electricity from any electricity board. I will generate my energy and self-sufficiency will come into. This is another disruptive technology in the way. And NIT Kurukshetra will be launching several of such schemes to make green buildings and to ensure solar panels all around, so that our net electricity bill will come down to zero. And that is a very good positive way of looking at technologies and using them. Now, many of us love wearable devices. Women will be using some kind of things here. Now devices will be like this. A device will be here, and then you're all connected. You don't need to hold a mobile any longer. You will all be connected. Not only that, the IoT has gone to an area called body area networks, wherein whatever ailments your body is, the network will connect it to the Nathani here, and then this Nathani will connect to the central server. The server will connect to the doctor and ambulance will come before you have an attack, because another 15 minutes down the lane you're going to have an attack. You will not be told. You will be carried away by the doctors and the ambulance immediately, and if it is not available, they will do a kind of surgery or something at the same space using your wearable devices. So that's the kind of technologies we are going into, where operations can be done live virtually. The doctor will be somewhere, the patient will be somewhere. You can do that kind of an activity also. So life is becoming more and more interesting for you. And then the very important aspect is there is no security for you. You're cornered. Even in your bathrooms, you're not safe. So that's the kind of security threats you're going to have in your life. That's the kind of technology disruption that is going to happen. Your privacy is compromised. Your data is compromised. And your social behavior is compromised. I know everything about you. I can manipulate you because I know inside you what you think. क्या कर रहे हैं आप? Social media इतना आ गया है. आप जो फटाफट लिखते हो अपने दोस्तों को, all this data is with me. I'm going to use this data to analyze what kind of a personality you are. Then I can play with you. And what kind of food choices you have, what kind of cosmetics you go for. Using AI, I'll give all of them to you. This is not new to anybody. Everybody knows. A child knows today. A child is developing a drone today. And the kind of hackathon, the kind of euphoria, even in schools and colleges, is now we have given you IoT as a toy. Like in the earlier years, we used to have blocks. We used to make a crane out of it, a bus out of it, or so many things. Now IoT is something even a class 5 student or a class 7 student can use these building blocks and then develop an app of his own. Mobiles have become a reality, and everybody holds a mobile. I can kill somebody if they hold my mobile. That's the kind of negativity that has come into society. Friends are not important, and mobile is important. ये मेरे पास नहीं रहेगा, I feel lost and disconnected to the whole world. Now इसी को मैं wearable बना दूंगा तो आप Nathani तो कहीं नहीं जाएगा, 24/7 लगा रहेगा. I can speak to anybody hours together. Now the kind of data explosion that is there, I can assure you, even if it becomes 100 times more, my network will handle. So there is nothing called issues of bandwidth. There is a little issue of how much you can buy and how much you can explore. So we are going to give a canopy, a wireless canopy in the 300-acre campus, where every child can explore himself or herself 24/7, 365 days, and then can connect to the data center or the library resources or anywhere in the world and can communicate with each other. So that's the kind of freedom that we want to give to the children using these disruptive technologies in education sector so that they become very interesting. Now at home, I think Pankaj Gupta, she is receiving some 10 guests today, and she will just give an instruction on the mobile. 10 लोग आ रहे हैं, ये चावल बना दो और दाल बना देना और थोड़ा सा क्या बोलते हैं उसे, सलाद लगा देना, अगर जरूरत पड़े तो थोड़ा सा क्या कहते हैं दही लगा दो. So are you giving instructions to somebody at home, Ramu Kaka? No, you are giving these instructions to your machines at your home, the washing machine, the food processing machine, and all those machines are all connected to an IoT model. And you can tell that this is the food to be ready in, let's say 45 minutes from now, हम घर पहुंच रहे हैं. जैसे ही घर पहुंचेंगे 2 मिनट पहले सारे डिवाइसेस को पता लगता है कि आप अंदर आने वाले हैं, सारे डोर्स खुले रहेंगे, सारे एसीज ऑन हो जाएंगे, सारा everything is set for you. So that's a kind of luxury you're going to enjoy in the nearest future. And women folk who find it difficult to manage home and office now have no choices. They can't say कि घर का काम ऑफिस में और ऑफिस का काम घर में नहीं हो सकता. Even men can't bluff or saying that the particular train or the metro is late. I will know live you're bluffing. So that's the kind of technology we have. So don't bluff and don't give lousy reasons for not joining your classes. What is important is time management. Learn to have very good time management and then be a part of it. Okay, so the new other technologies are adaptive learning, ML and data science. They're all looking at adaptive technologies. Thereby, if, like for example, I'll tell you, Rachna is there. I can see the name right now. So the Rachna is now a school-going girl, and her friend has got 8 out of 10, and she has got a 7 out of 10. Now she will go to the teacher. Sensing the mood of the teacher, she will give a big smile and then talk to her and says, "Ah, you're looking so beautiful, madam. Yeah, very choti si request hai mere na, thode marks kam aaye." Right? And then the teacher, if he is firing at somebody else, then Rachna will decide, nahi, ye time nahi hai, ab dekhte hain shaam ko fir. So you dynamically take decisions. This is nothing but adaptive learning algorithms. You're adaptively learning your algorithms and changing your course of action. This is exactly what we are doing there. Then you have a lot of thinking called live streaming. आप बताने की जरूरत नहीं, आपके सामने live streaming हो ही रहा है. And then social learning. Yes, you can do a lot of social learning through these platforms. Both synchronous and asynchronous learning have come in a big way, and they are going to be wonderful technologies before you. I'm very, very excited in being in the area of ICT. In case you have many things to learn, if you want to be excited to have this journey along with me, take my mobile number, take my email ID, connect to me, and I'm there for you anytime. 981 0909 414. I repeat it for you. 981 0909 414. And my email ID is PROF, Professor Short Form, BVR Reddy, B for Bombay, V for Victory, R for Rose, REDDY, RR @gmail.com. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm ready to take questions. And in case you have some questions, I'm ready to take them.
Any questions, participants? You can raise your hand. You can post your question in the chat box also.
Yeah, any faculty would like to ask questions? Yeah, 981 0909 414. This is my number.
Good morning.
The Rachna name is the same, but people are changing one to another.
Because this is static camera in from the sponsors.
We'll definitely make one for you. One here like this, then you will have.
Sir, I have a question, sir, if you allow me to ask. Sir, you mentioned about yoga. You said that yoga will be taken as one of the disruptive technology or will help in this disruptive technology. Could you elaborate on that, please?
Now, if you look at yoga, let me tell you, yoga means connecting. What are you connecting to? Right. You are connecting to the nature. That is yoga.
Right, sir.
Now, see, the whole world is a perfect matrix. If I remove Katevadya, that's what I'm reading, and then Krishna. If I remove these two people, the whole matrix is disturbed. So the nature perfectly matches everything, and everybody has a role to play. That is why we are on earth. And we don't really understand the concept. Nature and human being coexist together. You remove either of them, both will perish. And we are not realizing this fact today. We don't love animals, we don't love birds, we don't love flora and fauna, we don't love our brothers and sisters, we don't love our family members. Where are we heading? It's all confusion in the mind. And then you're drained out in the whole process. You always believe I can live alone, but believe me, you can't live alone. You will have to live with the whole world. When it is so, Corona is a bigger lesson that has given to us. Not me, but you. पहले आप ठीक रहिए तो मैं ठीक रहूंगी या रहूंगा. This is what the lesson is. Yoga teaches you the same thing. It takes it to 4 levels: the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual layers. There are much layers beyond it. इतना समझ लो, ये बड़ी बात है. And I can certainly tell you, yoga is going to bring that kind of health, that kind of mental stability, that kind of emotional intelligence, and the spiritual levels of thinking, which we call it as 360-degree holistic personality development. What is important to our education system is adaptability, not rote learning, not other aspects of it, nor even creativity and innovation. Adaptability. If you look at nature, those species survived which are adapting to themselves, otherwise they perished. Even human being is going to perish if he doesn't understand this logic, and he doesn't teach adaptability in his curriculum. Yoga regularly kariye. I'll ensure teachers are there for you, and then you don't need to pay any amount. You can just join in the morning from 7 to 9 in the morning, evening 5 to 7 in the sunlight. In the morning and evening, we're going to have wonderful sessions, and then enjoy these sessions free of cost, no cost on that. And I'll be delivering my lectures like this even at those platforms, free of cost, no money taken.
Thank you so much, sir, for your informative words. And definitely, we would like to try doing yoga. And we wholeheartedly respect your prestigious suggestion.
Rachna ji, I'll ask you one question. Would you want to be looking so beautiful even at 100th year? Yes or no? Yes or no? As simple as that.
Course, sir.
Of course, yes. Then do yoga. As simple as that. You be selfish. Then also do yoga.
Definitely, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to request Professor Ashish Agarwal to share his views. Please welcome him.
Acha, Rachna ji, can I leave? I've got a lot of activities.
Ashish Agarwal ji.
Can I leave the session, please? I wish a lot of good luck to you and to your team. Send me the report once all sessions are done. And in case you need to answer some questions, I'll be available, and let the questions be taken there. Right? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I am Professor Ashish Agarwal, at present Director, School of Engineering and Technology,
Good.
where you had come in 2017, sir, as a school board member, and we are very fortunate to have input from you. You have given a very useful feedback, and our school is still following your guidelines and the path which you have shown in the school board. Respected Chief Guest Professor Reddy sir, Guest of Honor and my colleague Professor P.V. Suresh ji, Chief Patron Major Sushil Goyal ji, Deepshikha ji, Anil Agarwal, CEO and Director, Devinder ji, Rachna ji, Vishal, and Bhanu Singh ji. I only know all these persons here. Sir, एक चीज बताना चाहूंगा कि PCTI के मतलब स्टार्टिंग में फाउंडेशन में कुछ थोड़ा सा योगदान मेरा भी रहा. It is a long back, I think in 94 or 95 when I was in the regional center of IGNU. So लेकिन ये था कि इन लोगों ने बहुत ज्यादा तरक्की की. इन्होंने दिखाया है कि किस तरीके से इस इंजीनियरिंग एंड टेक्नोलॉजी जो है वास्तव में जो है किस तरह से एजुकेशन दी जा सकती है. इवन बहुत ही कई डिफरेंट सिचुएशन में, जैसा कि एक बार यूजीसी से एक नोटिफिकेशन आ गया था इग्नू को कि हम लोग जो है स्टडी सेंटर्स जो है कहाँ पे रखना है, कहाँ नहीं रखना है. तो उस दौरान में भी ये जो पूरा पीसीटीआई का जो ग्रुप था, इन्होंने अपना कर्ज नहीं खोया और ये मोटिवेट होकर के काम करते रहे. इवन पैंडेमिक जो एपिडेमिक था हमारा, जिसमें लॉकडाउन रहा था, उसमें भी इन लोगों ने बहुत दिक्कतों का सामना किया, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी जो है ये लोग जुटे रहे और आज ये है. और मेरे को बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है कि इंडियन सोसाइटी फॉर टेक्निकल एजुकेशन के थ्रू ये एक आज जो है, जो इन्होंने हम लोग को, आपको सर इनवाइट किया और सुरेश जी को और मुझे इनवाइट किया, ये बहुत ही बढ़िया प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसमें कि हम लोग भी इंडियन सोसाइटी फॉर टेक्निकल एजुकेशन के साथ में जुड़े हुए हैं और हम लोगों ने बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स उनके साथ में भी किए हैं. और जहाँ तक रोल ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग एंड टेक्नोलॉजी का सर सवाल है सर, सो मेरा जो एरिया है सर वो सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट है. और सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट में इतना वास्ट चेंजेस हो गए हैं कि जब मैंने पीएचडी की थी आईआईटी दिल्ली से 2005 में, उस समय तक जो है सर हम लोग बड़े कन्वेंशनल मोड में काम करते थे सप्लाई चेन में. अब सप्लाई चेन एनालिटिक्स, जैसा आपने बताया, एडेप्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी, रैपिड प्रोटोटाइप, मशीन लर्निंग, all these comes as make the supply chain intelligent. इंटेलिजेंट हमें क्यों चाहिए? क्योंकि हमारी जो सप्लाई चेन है, हम ये एक बात करते हैं कि जो सप्लाई चेन है वो रेजिलेंट होनी चाहिए. उसी तरीके से जिस तरीके से हमारा जो पूरा सिस्टम है वो रेजिलेंट है कि किसी भी तरीके का डिसरप्शन आए, किसी भी तरीके का एक प्रॉब्लम आए, तो हम उसको जो है अपने आप को सस्टेन कर सकें. तो वो जो चीज है वो सप्लाई चेन में भी आ गई है. और हम लोग जो है बहुत अच्छी तरीके से जो आजकल के जो रिसर्च एरियाज हैं, जैसा सर ने भी बताया था, मशीन लर्निंग हो गया, एडेप्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी हो गई, ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट रोल पैदा कर रहे हैं हमारे को आगे बढ़ने के लिए. और सर सबसे बड़ी जो चीज है, क्योंकि ये प्लेटफॉर्म अच्छा है, यहाँ पे मैं एक बात शेयर करना चाहता हूँ कि जो हमारा एनईपी है, नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी, जिसमें मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी का एक अप्रोच दिया है, इसको भी कहीं ना कहीं हमारे इंजीनियरिंग में हमको जो है इसको यूज करना पड़ेगा. जिस तरीके से जो हमारा स्कूल है, स्कूल ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, हमने जो है अभी डिफरेंट कोर्सेज लॉन्च किए हैं, डिफरेंट प्रोग्राम लॉन्च किए हैं, क्योंकि एआईसीटी और एमएचआरडी के आदेशानुसार हम लोग कोई बीटेक डिग्री या एमटेक डिग्री नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो हम लोगों ने कुछ बीएससी और एमएससी प्रोग्राम शुरू किए हैं, जिसमें कि हम मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी और मल्टीपल मतलब एंट्री, इजी एंट्री और इजी एग्जिट का हमने उसमें जो है ऑप्शन दिया गया है. पीवी सुरेश जी, बहुत ही हार्ड वर्क है इनका. इन्होंने वही एपिडेमिक और उसको देखते हुए और उसके साथ पेस से पेस मिला करके चलने के लिए इन्होंने ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम, एमसीए ऑनलाइन, बीसीए ऑनलाइन, इवन इग्नू ने एमबीए ऑनलाइन शुरू किया है, जहां पर कि हम लोगों के अभी बहुत अच्छा एनरोलमेंट हुआ है और हम लोगों ने इसको जो है बहुत अच्छी तरीके से ले जा रहे हैं, जिससे कि हम हर स्टूडेंट के लैपटॉप तक पहुंच सके. बस यहाँ पर थोड़ी सी जो प्रॉब्लम है कि जो कनेक्टिविटी है वो है, उसको भी हम लोग धीमे धीमे जो है दूर करेंगे, और जिससे कि हम लोग जो है लर्नर तक ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन, ओडीएल एजुकेशन हम पहुंचा सकें. हमारा जितना भी मटेरियल है उसको हम लोगों ने ई ज्ञान कोश में सॉफ्ट कॉपी में रखा है कि अगर किसी वजह से किसी भी वजह से अगर स्टूडेंट को मटेरियल नहीं मिलता है तो वो अपनी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिस ना करे और उसको वो ऑनलाइन में एजुकेशन में ऑनलाइन जो मटेरियल अवेलेबल है उसको यूज करें. मैं सभी जो गेस्ट हैं उनका हृदय से उनको नमस्कार करता हूं, और इस सीटीआई को जो उनके कदम अभी तक चल रहे थे और आगे भी फ्यूचर में चलते रहे, उसके लिए हम जो है बहुत उनको जो है धन्यवाद देते हैं. और अब हम ये प्रार्थना करते हैं कि सीटीआई और अधिक. इसके साथ ही मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं, क्योंकि मेरी एक और मीटिंग है और मैं क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ, मैं जुड़ा रहूंगा आप लोग के साथ में. धन्यवाद.
Sir, let me also add, you're all invited to Kurukshetra any day you want to come. We'll take good care of you.
कुरुक्षेत्र के साथ में सर
आइए,
मैं
जब भी आना है आप आ सकते हैं।
5 PhD
और
से करा चुका हूं
जितने भी हम कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं, जुड़ना चाहेंगे तो आपको हम just connect to us, send your
प्रोफेसर पीवी सुरेश जी ने सबसे पहले मुझे बताया था, तो मुझे बड़ी खुशी हुई, है ना?
जी,
तो उन्होंने हमारे साथ
we'll extend the logic, हमें क्या करना है, बस एक लिंक ही देना है आपको, बाकी आप सब आप
थैंक यू सर,
right? Thank you very much for inviting me. Send the recording to me. Rachna ji, you're going to do that for me, right? Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Take care. Love you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir, for your blessings. Now, I would like to invite Anil Agarwal, sir, to share his words. Please welcome him. And, sir, please bless us with your words.
Good morning, everybody, to all the present dignitaries and all the participants. It's my honor to thank the chief guest, Professor B.V. Ramana Reddy, Professor P.V. Suresh, guest of honor, and Professor Ashish Agarwal, guest of honor, who took their time out and blessed us with their wisdom and their thoughts about the disruptive technologies. PCTI is a 32-year-old institution, having started its journey on a very small note with the objective of empowering the common citizen with computer education. Technology in education has been the mantra for PCTI since its inception. Today, PCTI can take pride in the fact that PCTI is the global center for online delivery of MCA program in the Gandhi National Open University, one of the many feathers in the cap of PCTI. This, of course, has been possible with the relentless efforts of our Managing Director, Mr. Sushil Goyal, Chairperson, Mrs. Deep Shikha, and the entire academic and technology team of PCTI. As an institutional member of IST, PCTI and IST are in the natural partners in the field of technology and delivering education through technology. During pandemic, also, PCTI is one of the pioneers in empowering teachers and educators across the nation for delivery of education through virtual, blended, hybrid mode of learning through its program VC 2020. And we empowered almost teachers of almost 400 institutions all over the country. We also took the challenge during the pandemic and delivered our IGNO and TIS classes, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, along with our IGNO classes through technology immediately after the lockdown was imposed in March 2020. And we were with the program through virtual mode. We are very sure that this convention on disruptive technologies will help all the participants as well as the education teaching fraternity into understanding the technology. And as Professor B.V. Ramana, chief guest, mentioned, that this is going to be the future in the times to come, and we have to embrace that technology to its fullest. And I'm sure that PCTI will always be in the front of delivering education through disruptive technologies and make best use of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you about prestigious ISTE. The Indian Society for Technical Education is a leading national professional non-profit making society for the technical education system in our country, with the motto of career development of teachers and personality development of students and overall development of technical education system. Being the only national organization of educators in the field of engineering and technology, ISTE effectively contributes in various missions of the Union government, The strength of ISTE is the strong base it has in technical education institution in the country. ISTE has an executive council at national level. It has active membership of more than 1,28,500 technical teachers, 5,35,000 students, more than 2,740 institutional members, including IITS, IISc, NIT, and other leading technical institutions, 1,414 faculty chapters, and 1,505 students chapters at national level, and 19 sections at state level. The major objective of ISTE is to provide quality training programs to teachers and administrators of technical institutions to update their knowledge and skill in the field of activity and to assist and contribute in the production and development of top quality professional engineers and technicians needed by the industry and other organizations. It organizes an annual convention for faculty and students separately every year, where a large number of technocrats, technical teachers, policymakers, experts from industry participate and interact. Every year, a national seminar with a specific theme with respect to the latest development in the field of science and technology and social problems is being arranged during the annual convention, and leading personalities of technical education are invited to deliver special lectures, and delegates present research papers here. ISTE is actively involved in many activities conducted by All India Council for Technical Education, New Delhi, and NBA New Delhi. Recently, ISTE was partner of AICTE and NBA in the conduct of second Chakra Vishwakarma Award and WOSA respectively. Now, I'm going to tell you about PC Training Institute Limited. The journey of PC Training Institute Limited started in 1990 with the mission of empowering the common man with computer literacy at a very affordable cost and at a very start of computer era in India. Since then, PCTIL has grown into a company of various business verticals such as education and skill development training, technology and web solutions, consultancy, psychometric assessments, healthcare, and travel and tourism. The education and skill development training is the flagship vertical of the company with the mission of making India skilled, employable, and future ready, and is actively associated with Indira Gandhi National Open University, which is a prestigious name in the education sector. Tata Institute of Social Sciences is also a very famous name. National Skill Development Corporation, Uttar Pradesh Skill Development Mission, Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, Indian Society for Technical Education, Quality Council of India known as QCI, Delhi University, overseas educational institutions based in USA, Middle East, and Asia, and other institutions and organizations. Now, we will understand about this 2 days convention. So learners, educators. Education sector has been the most affected and disrupted during the past 2 years and included the use of various technologies on a dynamic basis to deliver education across all corners of the nation and overseas. Today, virtual, hybrid, blended has become an accepted mode of delivery of education. Physical, that means face-to-face mode, when resumed, will also have impact on technology and may not be the old structured classroom. So here are some themes of this convention, such as impact of artificial intelligence-based application on education sector, role of hybrid learning on education industry, data analysis techniques, role of disruptive technologies on teaching methodology, how is AI transforming the education industry, competitive applications for education and training. Now, we are going to start this ISTE annual faculty convention, and our first speaker is Mr. Vishal Sharma. He is an MBA in International Marketing with experience of over 16 years across program and project management, also in program execution in the field of BI and data warehousing. He also has experience in ML in regression and clustering, worked on multi-million projects in the field of business intelligence in capacity developer to program manager to engagement lead. And his today's topic is different types of AI solutions in education industry. Please welcome him. Over to Mr. Vishal Sharma.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you very much. Am I audible? That is the first question that I need to ask. Every meeting this.
Yes, you are audible, Vishal sir. You are audible.
Thank you. I'll just switch on my video within a few minutes. But thanks for that. And I'm so hi everyone. I'm Vishal Sharma, as ma'am introduced. So let me just start sharing my screen, and I'll walk you through what AI is. What I will cover today is what AI is all about. What is so hyped about AI, and what AI can do to help you teachers as it is. Okay. So let me start. Hope I am visible now. I'm not sure because I'm not able to see myself. But anyways, that is good. Thank you, ma'am. I saw your thumbs up. Thank you. So let me start sharing my screen, and let's see how can we do. I hope you all are able to see my screen now. Okay, cool. Now let me start with. So welcome everyone. What I'm going to talk about is what AI is, and what is the use of AI, and these all technologies that we have. So I have near about 16 years of experience in these technologies, whereas when AI started, AI boom started 8 years ago, I was one of the early adapters to this technology. So let me start with the definition of AI, what AI means and what is AI exactly. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, what is AI? Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence, and I will read through this definition, but very simply, if I read through this definition, this says artificial intelligence is a wide ranging branch of computer science concerned with building smart machines that are capable to perform tasks that are typically require human intelligence. That means what we are trying to replicate using artificial intelligence is human intelligence. Now, do you think we have reached there? As my honorable guest, who joined before me, has told that yes, we have reached. For me, it is still very far for us to reach there, and I think that will take us some time to be at a place where AI will actually beat human intelligence. Right now, any model that we work on, anything that we work on, be it on IoT or any device, it will take certain time. So what I do is I give you a simpler definition, that artificial intelligence is ability of a digital computer or computer controlled robot to perform tasks commonly associated with human intelligence. That means if you look, if we talk about human intelligence, if we talk about things that a human can do or a person can do, this all the things or this all things, if we make AI machine that intelligent, that will change the role. And how I can say that is changing, if all of you take an example, I like to cite this example. If you look at a small kid, whenever he is wet, he started crying, like giving an output. Now, do you think an AI robot can give that output every single time, or whether he will learn from it? Or if you throw a water at a small kid and he sees you throwing water, next time, when even if you are having a glass of water which does not contain water and throw it at him, he will give the same reaction, but AI machine will not. So right now we are very far from achieving what I called a pure AI, where it does not require any intervention or any tuning after certain set of time. So even the biggest and most robust of model right now needs that tuning that goes into this. Now coming to the examples that we use in AI, I think all of us are very much aware of Siri, Alexa, and other smart assistants. If you sing, there is Jarvis. There are a number of solutions that are there. Then Tesla, we all know about Tesla. Even if somebody has seen in India, XUV 700, Mahindra's car, has bring into that feature that's help you self-driven, which they call as automatic assist. They don't call it self-driven. They're calling it as automated assist, where they have put cameras on all sides with sensors. Now what happens is, as you drive the car, car will gauge the road and tell you, okay, this is what we need to do and this is what we need not to do, and then on its own will take an action. However, the person who is working on that particular car or who is driving that car needs to make sure he is attentive, and he is making sure that the car runs wherever car runs properly and does not do anything say which is out of the bound. Now robot advisor, now here robo advisor that we say can be a mechanical or can be an electronic thing. However, if you or if you all search the internet, find a doctor, a robot doctor certified by Chinese board. So they have made a doctor who has been certified by Chinese board, saying that okay, he or the robot, I'll not say gender because the robot is gender neutral, but if I say a robot is such a intelligent thing or such an intelligent device that it can actually give you medicine and prescribe you. Now what this robo advisor is doing, it is sitting in an ICU with 400 people, and just connected to those people are connected to device which are giving them inputs and details. Okay, and this person or this robot will see what kind of dosage increase will be required to that person, or what kind of dosage decrease is required for that kind of or that patient is required. Again, conversational bot where you talk to them and they give you answers. For example, if anybody of you is using Kotak Mahindra Bank or any bank, they are coming up with their own bots like Kia or my apologies, I'm forgetting the names of those bots, but every bank has that bot. Even in PCTI, we are also trying to build a bot where we talk to, where you come and ask generalized query and they will answer your query, rather than you going to a counselor and asking that. Email spam filter, this is one of the oldest solution that we built. Okay, now coming to my next thing, as Netflix recommendation. Netflix, even any recommendation that comes from any device that we are viewing, or if you are using your Amazon account to buy something or Flipkart account, so they actually come and see what exactly is happening, and they know what exactly are you showcasing or what are you looking for. So that is the biggest achievement. So if I say very simply, if you are purchasing for Amazon on 2 years, I think Amazon will know more about your shopping habits than you actually do. So this is the key aspect when we talk about anything AI. I will just take a pause here. Any questions that you want to ask? Okay, I'm cool. So let me just move to next slide. And what I wanted to showcase is what AI is. So what is AI? AI should be responsive, decisive, adaptive, and independent. Right now, independent and adaptive is something which is taking time, but AI is decisive right now. As I told you an example, in a short span of time, what they are doing is they are telling you with certain inputs that okay, this is the first step that you need to follow up or you need to do in order to achieve your goal, and the last bit and the last traction that needs to be done. AI needs to give inputs. So now if how many I'm sorry, can I have a vote that how many of us are using say smart smart watches or smart Apple watches or any watch that is there. So in just raise your hand. I can see your hands. How many of us are using those smart devices? Now, if you look at those, thank you very much. Thanks, I got that. Thanks. Now, if we see the smart hands or smart devices that we are using, do you know what kind of data they collect? We say the data they collect is how much we walk, how much sleep we take, and however, do any one of you have ever thought how does they collect those amount of data? They are actually measuring your pulse, they are actually measuring your ECG. Even if you look at Apple watches, they are designed in such a sophisticated manner that they can predict when your body is going into stroke or your body is having a pulse which is not exactly welcomed in terms of your bodily function. So they can actually tell your doctor, okay, this is a indicator or this is a deviation which I see in his or her body, and please action towards it. So this way this is happening. I say 4 years, 5 years ago, when we were talking about AI, then I came about this idea when we talk about interconnected world. I think you all have heard about IoT. Just deviation from this topic, I'll come back to it. So when you talk about interrelated world, and I think that time is not far. I think not far. In next 5 to 6 years, you will go to McD and you will tell your name. Okay, my name is Vishal Sharma, and I want a burger, a huge Mac cheeseburger, and the person sitting on the other side of it will ask you, okay, can you tell me your can you just swap your say watch or anything. So once you swap it, all the details will come, even your doctor prescription will come to you, or the system will stop him. Okay, this guy Vishal Sharma is not allowed to have a Mac cheeseburger. He can only have these 3 burgers, and he will actually make your choices smaller or lesser than you can. So you don't have that choice to actually go and eat unhealthy. That is the level of personalization that can come, yes, at the cost of privacy sometimes. However, right now, what people or what bigger organization or what standards IEEE and the other standard organization are doing. There is an echo. Please, if you can mute. Okay, thanks. So what other standard organization are doing is they are trying to figure out a standard where they can interchange data with different devices. Right now, Apple Watch does not talk to any other device than Apple itself, right? And similarly, other devices are not talking to one another. So what needs to be done is, what we need to do is we need to have a certain standardized project or processes where we are talking to each other and understanding each other requirements. Okay, so there are organizations working towards that goal. Now, again, you went to a doctor in a different city, he knows about you. And this is not in medical profession. For example, and this is a live scenario, I think in Sweden or Switzerland, people have been inserted with chips which is linked to their bank account. So they went, so if they go to supermarket, that chip will automatically will be detected. So they just wave their hand over a billing cycle or billing counter, and the bill will automatically be detected from their bank or from their credit card, which they have enabled on the chip using their mobile phones. Or if they are traveling to a train, once they enter, the chip will activate that they have entered this. Now this is the level of things people are doing, and this is already implemented. I'm not saying this will be implemented in 5 years, 10 years down the time. This is already implemented, and people are ready for it because they want, say, a sense of security from the government or from other people. Yes, that brings in, but at what cost? That is what we need to decide after a certain time. So when we talk about AI, now coming back to the topic, when we talk about AI has to be responsive, it has to be engaged with people, it has to be adaptive, and the biggest thing is it should make decisions without a person or a human being coming into and making decision for them. So that is the biggest thing when we talk about AI. Now I will walk you through what AI or what are current things being done in AI, and what are the what do you know, and certainly cite some examples there. Right now, where AI is used is machine learning. Now we know machine learning. Machine learning is where a machine, we gave him certain information, certain results, and they started giving us certain inputs or certain outputs which are matching it. For example, if I want to predict my sale for next year and I have sale for last 10 years, I can use machine learning to predict my next sale. If you have ever swiped your credit card and your bank has blocked it, that is again machine learning, predictive analytics coming into picture, saying that okay, this might be fraud, because there are a number of things that we cater to see whether that interaction is being done rightly or not. For example, you live in Delhi and certainly you went to Mumbai and you swipe your card, say for 50,000 bucks, which is not your average spending limit that you do. So what bank will do? Bank will stop that transaction and call you up to confirm whether you are doing that transaction or not. And that is a fail-safe mechanism that bank has kept in order to make sure that everything that you are doing is right and everything that is being done from that result is okay. Now, again, what is deep learning? And this model that I am talking about is a mixture of deep learning and predictive analytics. So what I am doing is I'm learning your behavior using deep learning, and then I'm trying to predict what is the outcome of that behavior so that you or the bank might not suffer losses. What happens is if your card gets stolen and you report it to bank, you are under no liability to pay the bank those money. Okay, that's the reason bank will always try to mitigate its risk, and there is when machine learning comes into picture. Now, the second most used case when you talk about or when we talk about AI is natural language processing, NLP. What is NLP? NLP is when you talk to system in a certain way and it understand. For example, hey Siri, how is the weather outside? It will give you an answer. Okay, when I said hey Siri, my iPhone just started answering me, but that is good for me to happen. Okay, so this is what is language NLP, but this is one case of it. Second is if you go to some place where you don't have any knowledge of the language, it will convert that language, your language, into the person's language, which is say Chinese, Japanese, or Korean. That depends on what you are talking to and what people you are talking to. So this is also an example of artificial intelligence currently impacting our real life. Now, information extraction. Now, this is something which I think in education sector is having a very huge impact. For example, you are talking to your students, and there is a new information or new study or theory that have come. So this type of things in a lecture you are hearing that. Now, if you have to take notes, it will take you your time out, because what you are doing is you are listening and you are writing. So there are tools like Otter and I think Microsoft Word has certain tools which help you to extract minutes of meeting or key highlights from those points. So if you talk about those, so what will they do? They will get you the highlighted or the information that is necessary from those lecture. And right now, I don't think they are working at 100% accuracy, maybe at 70 or 60% accuracy. So still you need to read them again and make sure that they are complete. Now, the next is a speech where you talk to people and you convert it into text. For example, people like me, I'm very lazy when it comes to typing. So what I do is I narrate whatever I want to type to my phone or my laptop, and they take the notes. And once the notes are done, I just vet them and send it to the concerned person. Similarly, text to speech, I think most of you have utilized this once just for testing also. Your messages, when it comes, you just ask your phone to read it loud, it will read it loud for you. Or if there is certain, if you are using iPhone, it will also read out the name of the person calling, so you don't need to look at the phone. Okay, and you can direct Siri, hey Siri, disconnect the call, it will disconnect the call also. So this is what text to speech and speech to text does for us. Now, this third system, expert system, is there if most of the audience is from education background and knows about expert systems. So you know expert systems are in place for a longer time, I think last 30-40 years. What this expert system do, you give them certain inputs, and what they try to infer is the results that they want, or the things that they want to look into. Knowledge base, again, you create pieces of information called as tuple, and you certainly try to create a relationship between this. The most famous example is Tom is a cat and cat has tail, so every cat must have tail. So certainly this type of example, but in more complex level. If you remember, just 5 to 10 minutes ago, I was talking about a robot that was given a doctor's MBBS doctor's degree in order to treat patient. Now, what do you think that system is? That's an artificial intelligence machine learning system, which is working with an expert system to actually make people work. Then planning, scheduling, and optimization is one thing. Robotics and vision. Now, vision we have done, and it is currently being used in education sector also. I will come to that example. Any questions till now? I'll be more than happy to answer, else I'll be moving. I'll just wait for 30 seconds. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, everyone. Now the next point is how AI can help teachers and students. This point is very interesting, and to this audience, this point will actually help them in order to understand what exactly is happening. Now, what happens is, let us break this into examples and work around it. And I will actually share the right examples that are working in the organization right now. So one is task automation. Task automation, what does that mean? For example, teachers' main task is to impart knowledge to students that are there. However, they are also required to do tasks that are not basically that are not part of imparting knowledge, that are just there to make sure that people are adhering to schedule or something like that. So what AI can do, AI can be part, or AI can help you to automate those tasks so that you can focus 100% on the tasks that you are there for. That means imparting knowledge and imparting information to the students. For example, it's a very simple example is, if in your classroom I plant or I install a camera which can take students' attendance, that will reduce your time of attendance, and you will know when the student is coming in or coming out. Second and most important thing which covers with personalized learning is which can be done in automation is how many students are paying attention or not. We can create certain indicators like drowsiness, sleepy head, or these kind of things in AI system, which can come and tell you, okay, this person is not giving full attention and this person need your more say view so that he can improve on it. So this is what task automation and personalized learning can do for you. Secondly, in personalized learning, this is a small space that I talked about, but there is a bigger impact of it. When you talk about personalized learning, so for example, based on say last 10 exam a person has given, you can actually identify in which particular topics in that particular subject that person is weak, or that person needs more attention from you. That way you will be able to guide that person, okay, this is the 6 or 7 things that you need to work upon in order to improve that subject. because I don't believe that if a student is readily giving his time, studying hard, and is actually honest in his view, he does not need all the subjects or all the pieces to be put together. Certain pieces he might like, and where AI can come into your aid and tell you, okay, in last 10 exam he has given, he or she has not performed this 4 or 5 topics. Now, that is where personalized learning will be coming. Now, universal access means making your lectures available to each one of the students outside. Also, AI can perform a subtitle study material. For example, I'm speaking in English, and I can create AI models where they can convert into Hindi, they can convert into Punjabi, or even any language that we want, and present that language into the same manner as I'm speaking. So please do remember, that does not mean they will convert word by word. They will actually change it to a parallel sentence in that language. If I say, hi, how are you? It will not convert it into word by word. Actually, it will convert aap kaise ho. That means it is changing the language as well as tone to the very same meaning in which I am speaking that sentence. Smart content creation. Now, this is a field which is being explored right now. Right now, number of researches are happening throughout the globe, and all the research are being published. Now, what happens is, if a teacher is teaching, they don't have that much time to go throughout the area or throughout the places to do the research and tell students, okay, this is also happening. So what happens is, if a new research comes and that is related to that particular topic that a teacher is teaching, what will happen? The system in itself will identify and tell the teacher, okay, this is also a study that has come in. If you want to include it into your lecture, that is good enough for you or for other people that are working in this. By this way, you will be actually helping student and keeping yourself also up to date about different things that are happening across the globe. Now, teaching the teacher is something which I think, by all of the mixture of all of the things that we have talked about, we can actually bring that in. Identify the class weakness. It's an extension to, say, personalized learning. However, this also helps us to understand what exactly the overall subject portion of the subject that my students are not understanding. Very simple. If my class, and this is an example that I faced in my early learning, I was not very very comfortable with integration and this derivatives. So what I used to do is, I used to talk to my friends and do that. But when I came to know that most of my class was facing the same problem. Now, the problem is, as a student, I don't feel that comfortable coming to teacher telling her, okay, I'm not comfortable with this topic, which is wrong. And I think most of the teacher are trying to bridge that gap, and they always try to make students feel very comfortable so that they can come and ask their doubts. We can ask you as a teacher, you go and talk to class and tell them if there is doubt, but that is very difficult. So if an AI model can help you identify that is where AI will help teacher as well as student. Similarly, a student can actually go into AI systems and start learning. And for them, in personalized learning, they can start understanding the project, they can start understanding the process, and the system will automatically adapt to their learning behaviors. For example, I am learning, say, mathematics. I started with a smaller piece of information like 1 + 1, and then gradually I will grow. Once that logic is clear, system will automatically start giving me tougher questions, so that I can reach to next level of learning. This way, increasing my overall knowledge base and overall expertise in that particular topic. Very simple example that people use right now is learning a language. So what exactly happens? You see, we are bundling around all the things. So you are learning, say, Japanese, and there are apps available. They will start you talking about hello, hi, and generalized greeting. And once you start becoming expert in how to speak those languages, they will start making the lectures or the topics little tougher. Like, okay, give a complete sentence or make a complete sentence. Now speech is also coming. You are talking to them. NLP is also coming because they are understanding what you are saying and they are correcting you. That, okay, no, this is wrong. How it should be, it should not be spoken like this. It should be spoken like this. Very simple example, as we know, most of us has heard onion and onion example, or potato example. So something like this, but people will talk about these all things throughout this scenario. Okay, and 24/7 assistance. 24/7 assistance is very simple. Once teacher are not available to answer a student query, and student is studying, say late at night, and teacher is currently not available to answer that query, an AI system can at least try to give them certain examples or certain highlights so that they can answer the particular query that they have. Very simple example is, I'm trying to solve a math problem and I'm not able to do that. An AI system can be a teacher's assistance for that time and try to guide that student by giving him hints or giving him idea how to solve the problem. And if still they are not able to solve the problem, a real teacher next day can come in and solve the problem. That means they don't have to wait for, say, next day to start to actually give that answer. So what this all environment is doing is, they are enabling teachers and students to interact, and also they are helping teachers to focus on more process of imparting knowledge rather than making a brief rather than just making it a time consuming task or just a one-way interaction. The overall system can do that, and there are AI systems which can help teachers when they are installed in schools or in colleges, which can tell whether what students are doing and what students are not doing. Again, that depends on your definition of privacy, but I think once you are in school, you have to adhere to that principle, how to study and these things. So these all things has to be kept into mind when it comes to that. And in every student to teacher relationship, there is a two-way communication. Now, what happens due to certain, certain boundaries or walls that students has created in their mind, they don't reach out to teachers asking them about the questions. So what happens is, AI can help you fill that gap. My next slide will be about what AI is currently doing. So I will currently exactly available solutions that are there in the market, few of them. We will talk through it. Any questions till now, I'll be happy to answer that. Else I'll move further, and I can move into the final piece of my presentation, where I will talk about what are the AI solutions that are currently being used in education sector and much more. I think you all got an idea what AI can do. So if there is any questions, just raise your hand and I'll be more than happy to answer that, if there are any. Okay, that's good. I think I'm either giving much boring lecture, or at least people are understanding what I'm saying. So both of them, I'm for first of them, I'm not happy, but for second, I'm really happy that people are understanding what I'm saying. So thanks for that. Now coming to the next piece is where AI is currently being used. Okay, so let me give you examples. You go to Google Store, Google Play Store or Apple Store, start just typing math equation solver, and you will get some apps from Microsoft, from Google. What you can do is, you can write an equation in your handwriting, okay, and just take a photograph of it. What will happen? That equation will go to a AI machine or AI interface, which will solve that equation for you and send you the results. Now, what they are doing is they are actually going into a system, and the result will not come as a final result. It will give you step-by-step ways to solve a problem. Now, this can be as complex mathematical problem as quantum physics, or as simple as x square plus y square is equal to plus 2ab, something like that. So it is as simple or as difficult that we do. This is already there in the market. You can utilize, you can see, you can understand that. Second is Georgia Institute of Technology has developed a virtual teaching assistant. What it does is it answers questions to student which are overhead for a teacher. For example, what is the course all about, what I need to learn, what kind of books I need to purchase, what kind of any question that goes to teacher and that is not related to teaching but an overhead to it. So this assistance, what student does once they are enrolled to the system, this assistant will send them an email saying that, okay, welcome to the course and these are all the things that require. Now student can come back, okay, this book is not available, can you give me a different book, or can you advise certain books that I can read more to gain my knowledge? This assistance will help you. So this is a Jill Watson named assistant, virtual assistant, that is right now available in this system. Again, there is a third space learning. Again, third space learning is something where you get one-on-one math classes with an AI tutor, and what happens is this tutor will actually go and learn your pattern. Okay, what you are learning and how are you behaving. In this way, try to formulate your lectures so that the interest of the teacher, interest of the student is maintained throughout the lecture. Now, please do remember, in this one-on-one math classes with AI, or math classes with AI, there is also a tutor involved who is also helping the student. So AI educator or AI is supporting the teacher in order to pass on the information to that particular person and explaining them how to work around it. As this model we can use for any education purposes. We can use for maths, we can use for science, or we can use for advanced data analytics or machine learning kind of knowledge. So these systems are there right now, but they have to be trained, they have to be shown a path in order to reach that results. Now coming to our next topic, or next AI, next tool that is being currently used is Duolingo. Now, what does this tool do? As I explained earlier, this is helping you to learn different languages that is there. Now, once you start learning the languages and start learning a certain portion of the language, it will use an adaptive learning mechanism. And what does it do? Once you have done an adaptive learning, it will make your either course tougher or start introducing new words or new phrases to you so that you can improve on that and you can start working on that. The last piece or the last example here right now in my slides is a smart attendance system, which is from Andrea Labs, where what happens is we use computer vision and machine learning. Okay, now in computer vision, what happens is your photograph is taken by the computer and your attendance is automatically marked. However, this system does not restrict yourself to attendance. It will also tell the teacher by giving them a message on their mobile saying that which student is attentive, which student is lagging behind, which student is talking. So a virtual monitor for teachers to see what the class is doing, whether they are interested in the lecture or not. And this way they can actually formulate a plan how to take that lectures and how to make sure that the people work. So by this slide, I conclude my walkthrough about the use of technology in use of AI in education. Any questions here? I'll be more than happy to answer. I hope. So I'm just stopping my presentation now. Any questions you have, you can reach out to me through Arvind sir or from PCTI. I'm always available to support. Anyways, thank you very much and have a nice day ahead of you. And if you need any assistance, just let me know and I'll be there to support you. Okay. Any other thing? Any other questions? Else I'll pass the mic back. Arvind sir.
Anyone, if you have any query, then you can ask. Do you have any query? Anyone? Because Vishal sir taken a good session and given so many examples. So I hope you get understand that.
I think Nikita said all clear. I hope Nikita that means you all things are clear, not all clear. Hopefully.
Vishal sir, if possible, please share any case study with the participants so that they can have an interest and give their views on that topic.
So there is, sorry, I don't have a case study right now, but I have already given them examples that can be utilized in real life. They can actually look at it and they can work with it. No problem there. I think I have given them a break of 30 minutes, right? And after my session, there was lunch.
Oh, okay, fine. And now we have the break for the 15 minutes and we'll join again.
Okay, thank you everyone. If there is any question, you can reach out to Arvind sir and they'll route it to me. Thank you very much and have a nice day of you. Take care. Bye.
Okay, thank you, Vishal. Hello, everyone. Now we have a break for the 15 minutes. So we'll join again for the same continuation of these sessions. So we'll connect soon. Within 15 minutes, we'll join again. Please be with us and we are here for you. If you have any query, then you can ask and then we'll continue session, resume session within 15 minutes.